a judge of the High Court. He follows very strictly procedures that are required even in the High Court, so that we have, as complainants, to be able to satisfy him that our complaints have got merit. This morning, we had one of the complainants against the 4 or the 5 nominated senators. The party had its complaints, but one of the accusers is Mr. Honorable Kangata, who is the chief whip. He did make his pleadings and presentations at the committee, at the session. If he wants to talk about that, he can talk about it. If he doesn't want, he'll talk about other issues. I think I'll leave it there. Let me ask Mr. Kangata to address you with some news also, which he wants to be able to discuss with you, to let you know, and then I'll come back and make the other announcements that we want to make. Thank you very much, Honorable.
Yeah, just 2 issues. Issue number 1 is just to inform Kenyans that today we had the first 3 hearings for the disciplinary committee against the nominated senators. Those cases were heard, the matters was closed, and the committee has returned to make a determination which will be communicated to the 3 senators. We shall get direction as to when those other 2 senators will also be heard. Now, I hereby want to inform the country we are now making changes in the Senate, and that those changes will be communicated to the Speaker today. That is, changes in the composition of the various Senate committees. Change number 1 will be SBC. SBC, we are going to replace Senator Langat with Senator Sakaja. Change number 2 will be Powers and Privileges Committee. We are going to replace Senator Kangata, myself, with Senator Cheryl K. Devolution Committee, we shall replace Senator Kenywa with Senator Murkomen. Education Committee, Senator Langat will be replaced by Senator Milgo. ICT Committee, we shall replace Senator Pogisio with Senator Kenywa. Jaila Committee, we shall replace Senator Cheryl K with Senator Linturi. Also, JLAC, we shall replace Senator Cheryl K and Senator Linturi with Senator Kindiki and Senator Langat. And CPAC, we shall replace Senator Linturi and Senator Dulo. Delegated legislation, we shall replace Senator Pogisio with Senator Linturi. The effect of this will be that Senator Kenywa will cease being the chairman of the Devolution Committee. Senator Linturi will cease from being a member of PAC and also a vice chair of Legal. Dr. Langat will also cease from being the chairman of Education Committee, and also Senator Cheryl K will cease from being the chairman of Legal Committee. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. We'll give you a chance to ask all the questions when we are finished with the announcements. We just want to let you know the NMC, we did make our proposals as to who should be joining the NMC. We addressed our communication to the Registrar of Political Parties. We also put an announcement in the newspapers and gave 14 days for those who have got any objections to send them to the party, so that our own internal party mechanism may be able to address any issues. Under the chairmanship of our chairman and an ad hoc committee that was created to look at those complaints, the committee dismissed all the complaints that had been sent to the party with respect to those who were nominated for the NMC position. The main basis being that no single evidence was adduced against any of those who were proposed to join the NMC. Nothing on their character, nothing on their CVs, nothing that violated the law. Because if you say that so-and-so should not serve in this committee or should not serve in the NMC, none of those particular complaints addressed the problems that you may be able to say would stop those people in serving in the NMC. So last week, we already sent the communication to the Registrar of Political Parties that the NMC will remain as we proposed, and we have looked at the law. There's no need to gazette them anymore. We have dealt with our internal mechanism, and therefore they are members of the NMC. Another announcement I'd like to make is that the NMC will meet from tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock with the sole purpose of doing what the NMC is also supposed to do, is to prepare the agenda and the issues that will be addressed by the NEC. We hope to have a NEC meeting very soon. We are only waiting for the party leader to give us a time when he's available to be able to meet the NEC. So the NEC meeting can be any time from Thursday onwards. We will communicate to all members of the NEC. They'll all be invited. If anybody has got any objections to the actions that have been taken so far, then they'll be able to raise them at that NEC meeting. We're also going to have a parliamentary group meeting with respect to the National Assembly. We are working again on the appropriate date, which is acceptable to the party leader. And I want to make it very clear, very, very clear, that our party constitution will be adhered to. I want to make it also very clear that we are going to be not very merciful when it comes to the discipline in the party. In the past, we have been very generous to some of our members, some of them even using, without authority, the stationery of the party, not coming from this office, coming from wherever it is they're coming from, and expecting that we are going to allow that kind of dysfunction. I'm sorry, they are mistaken, and disciplinary action is going to be taken. But whatever disciplinary action the party takes, we want to assure Kenyans that we will follow due process. We have a party disciplinary committee which is headed by somebody who qualifies to be a high court judge. We will take those matters to the disciplinary committee. We'll pursue them to their logical conclusion. Where we don't need the disciplinary committee and we only need the NEC to deal with it, we will deal with those errant members. With members of parliament, we expect 100% fidelity to the contract that they signed with the party. And we do have those contracts available for any inspection. They said when they were going for elections that they were going to do things according to the party. They were going to support the party. They hanged on the goodwill of the party to get their positions. For them to now change tact midstream is nothing but betrayal of the party. I want to thank you very much for your patience this morning. I'll take a couple of questions if there are any. If there aren't, thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Question number one. My name is Kelly Muridi from NTV. You've spoken to those who have been using the party stationery outside the precincts of this building. And I know you're referring to your deputy.
That's what you know. I have not mentioned any names, but it's okay.
Is there any action disciplinary, because you say, using your words, that you're not going to take disciplinary issues lying down? Is it one of the issues that might even look into getting a disciplinary action from this committee, the deputy?
Well, as I mentioned to you, there are certain disciplinary committee issues which need to be referred to this committee. There are certain disciplinary actions that can be taken directly by the NEC. And there are certain disciplinary issues which can be taken directly by the party leader as is articulated in some of our articles, including Article 33 of our Constitution, which I would want some of you to look at. And also I would want you to look at, because it's online, so you can look at also the responsibilities of the Secretariat and the Office of the Secretary General and all other offices, so that there's no confusion as to where the lines of responsibilities lie. I know you very well, sir.
Yes, I also know you, sir.
Yes.
You stand accused personally and collectively with other members of the management of the party of targeting particular members of your party, those who are allied to the deputy president or the deputy party leader of the party, of the Jubilee Party. Is there any truth to that statement? And even looking at the changes that have been communicated a short while ago by the Senate majority, those are some of the senators who did not vote in line in the last vote in the Senate. Is there any justification for that claim that you are targeting the deputy president with these changes, cracking the whip as it is being called?
When the majority leader tells the members that this is the party line, they each have their independent vote, and if they decide not to vote according to the party line, and they decide to hide behind any individual, whether it is the deputy president or whether it is the secretary general, they stand accused. Please talk a little bit louder. And well, I can assure you that when we meet with the members of parliament, if they do have cases to answer, we're going to process those cases. And the party is free to make any changes that it requires to make at the National Assembly. That is the prerogative of the party, and we will make those changes when and if we feel that is necessary. We'll follow due process. Due process is very important. Where we have to do it through a PG, we'll do it through a PG. Where we just need a resolution of the NEC, which is actually the case with some of the people who are in parliament, we will use that particular provision of the law.
My name is Hilary.
I know you, sir. I think the chief whip can explain who those are. Those who appeared and those who are still to appear. No, you have to talk on the microphone so that's here.
Yeah, it's Prengei, Senator Prengei and Senator Omanga. They are within the precincts. The committee is there to determine whether they'll be heard at about 2 or tomorrow.
Good. And the Mary Senator?
Yeah, is that the matter?
Okay, fine. Very good. Okay, fine. You've heard that. Yes, last question. No question. Great. Yes.
Kuna mabadiliko fulani tumekuwa tukiona kwenye chama iwe katika kamati za uongozi pale bungeni na wengine. Kuna madai kwamba mnamlenga naibu rais katika mabadiliko haya. Swali la kwanza, je, mnamlenga na wale ambao wanamuunga mkono? La pili, kuna mabadiliko mabadiliko fulani ambayo mnafanya katika uongozi wa chama, yani management committee ya chama na mkutano ambao unatarajiwa kufanyika wa baraza la chama. Ni mambo gani ambayo mnatarajia kuyajadili katika mkutano huo, na labda sababu naibu rais ni mmoja wa wale ambao wako kwenye kamati hiyo, je, amealikwa kwenye mkutano huo?
You want to ask about parliament first? Swahili? Okay.
Ya, niseme ya kwamba wale ambao tumeweza kuleta mabadiliko hivi sasa yanatokana na mambo ambayo yanahusu chama. Chama kina haki ya kufanya mageuzi yoyote, na hiyo ni haki ya chama ambayo kwa hivi sasa lazima iweze kuheshimiwa. Kumbuka ya kwamba kabla turushe kura ya Friday tuliweza kupatia notice kila member, tukamwelezea huu ndio mwelekeo wa chama, na diposa sasa lazima tungeleta nidhamu katika chama kutokana na wenye tumefanya. Lakini pia ukiangalia pia umeona ya kwamba wamepelekwa katika kamati zingine za bunge, kumaanisha pia wako na wakati wa kufanya kazi katika mahali pengine katika bunge vingi.
Ya muhimu kabisa ambacho tutajaribu kuzingatia ni nidhamu. Kama chama kinachotawala, hatuwezi kuwa kwamba tuko na wale ambao hawafuati maagizo ya chama. Kwa mfano, katika bunge hatuwezi kuwa na mtu ambaye anakuwa mwenyekiti ya kamati muhimu na kwa upande nyingine anapinga msimamo ya chama ama msimamo ya mheshimiwa rais wa nchi yetu. Kwa hivyo yale ambayo tunafuatilia kwa wakati huu ni kuhakikisha kwamba tuna nidhamu, tuna party leader moja, tuna rais wa nchi moja, na katika mkutano ambacho tutakuwa nao kesho na hata mkutano ambayo itakuwa ya parliamentary group ama mkutano wa NEC, ya kwanza ambayo tutaweka mbele kipaumbele ni kwamba kila mwanachama awe ni nani, awe akona nidhamu, kwa ajili bila nidhamu basi kama chama ambacho kinatawala hatuwezi kuendesha nchi yetu. If we have a dysfunctional party, we cannot have a functional government. And if we don't have a functional government, we cannot have a functional country. All these things are important. Bila nidhamu hatuwezi kuwa na nchi ambacho inaendelea kwa njia nzuri, hatuwezi kuwa na serikali ambayo inaendelea kwa njia nzuri. Lazima tuwe na nidhamu, na rais wetu ni moja, uongozi wa nchi hii ni moja, na kwa hivyo lazima tumuunge kiongozi wetu Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, lazima tumuunge mkono ili afanye ile kazi kubwa ambayo anafanya kwa nchi yetu, sio kusumbuliwa kila wakati na wale ambao wanaenda kwa njia nyingine. We cannot have people going on a different trajectory when the president is very clear on where we should be going. Thank you very much. Yes. Ya, wacha mwenyekiti aongezee.
Pengine niongezee tu kidogo. Sisi kama chama ambacho kiliunda serikali hii tuko na jukumu la kuhakikisha ya kwamba hii serikali inatimiza ahadi zote zile ambazo waliahidi wa Kenya. Kwa hivyo
those are live pictures coming to us live from Jubilee Party headquarters here in Nairobi in Pangani. The party Secretary General Rafael Tuju and the Senate Majority Whip Irungu Kangata addressing the media, of course talking on plethora of issues that are affecting the party, in this reference the Jubilee Party. They talk of making communication, the party this is making communication to the Speaker of the Senate in as far as intended House leadership changes are concerned, specifically to some committees. Let me go through them. Is that Senator Kinyua now ceases to be the chairman of the Devolution Committee. Samson Cherargei, Nandi Senator, also seems to cease from being the chairman of the Justice Legal Affairs Committee, and his position will be taken by ousted former Senate Majority Whip Kithure Kindiki. Among the other changes, of course, is to the Powers and Privileges Committee, where Irungu Kangata, who is now the Majority Chief Whip, paves way for Cherargei. There are changes as well made to the Devolution Committee, Education Committee, the ICT Committee. All these are committees of the Senate, of course, and we will have who is replacing who in our subsequent bulletin. Of course, this is communication that the party says it has made to the Speaker of the Senate, pending approvals from the House, so that the new leadership in the committees take charge. Of course, this is a developing story. The purge in Jubilee continues. Of course, Tuju again hinting at the purge not stopping in Parliament. Just 3 days ago, Senate Majority Whip Irungu Kangata hinted publicly as well, as though this purge will continue more than just Parliament, hinting that any institution and parastatals that seemingly the leadership is not in sync and in line with President Uhuru Kenyatta may suffer an axe. Of course, this is a story we will keep an eye on for you and report to you in our subsequent bulletins. Our reporter Elizabeth Mutuku is on standby. We'll be speaking to her in our subsequent bulletins also. Moving on, more than 40,000 flood victims in Busia County have started putting their houses together after water levels in Zoia River, which caused the floods, reduced. The residents say that they have lost almost everything and they are now staring at a catastrophic danger. They have started rebuilding their houses again. However, they are seeking the government's support in building their houses. Take a look.
Imetukosesa usingizi hadi leo. Ni vile tutarudi huko nyumbani. Nyumba huko zimeanguka, nyumba zimeporomoka. Hakuna kitu huko.
Nyumba zangu hapa ni kama nyumba 5 zimeharibika. Hata maji imesomba mifugo yangu yenyewe, ingine imeenda na maji, imeenda na malazi, imeenda na vitu zangu za kupikia, hata sina mahali pa kupika. Nimekimbilia huko ng'ambo.
Nyumba yangu 3 imeanguka. La maadhe pia imeanguka. La kijana pia imeanguka.
Na pia nilikuwa mtu ambaye nilikuwa nafanya biashara kule Mau Market na wenzangu. Sasa vile maji imeingia, vitu vyangu vyote vya biashara vilienda na maji.
Elsewhere, residents of Lukoli's market in Busia County have held peaceful demonstrations blocking the Busia-Malaba road, protesting what they term as harassment from police officers. The residents have said that 2 people have since been killed by police officers as they implement the curfew orders in the area. They now want the police officers manning the station to be transferred.
Kube ni kama rais aliambia maskari yake wapate njia ya kunyanyasa wananchi.
Ndio.
Si hata corona. Imekuwa sasa ni kunyanyasa wananchi.
Kulingana na kisa cha jana, imekuwa ni kisa cha huzuni sana. Sababu tumepoteza mmoja wetu mshupavu na ni maarufu. Na kama ingekuwa maskari, huyu mwenzetu angefariki, angeaga dunia.
Erika akasema ati tupa rungu. Kutupa rungu ya kwanza ikaenda flat. Ya pili wengine wakasema choma pikipiki tumfate. Kukimbishana within 20 minutes. Nasikia simu ya ndugu yangu anaitwa Matthew Witeba. Akaniambia, nimepata message hapa kutoka kwa kina nani? Kwa kina Tom. Nikasema nini? Akasema ati mjomba amefukuzana na askari kufika kwa bambu ya kwao hapo. Amekufa, ati kichwa ilijigonga chini.
Wakaenda nyumbani wanashika kuku ya wamama. Sisi tumesoma watu masikini tu. Anakuja kuibia, wanaibia wamama.
Elsewhere, the Kenya Tobacco Control Alliance has called on the government to put a ban on tobacco products in the country during this coronavirus pandemic season. The alliance chairperson, Joel Gitali, says cigarette smoking and substance abuse is a catalyst to the spread of the deadly virus and now wants police to arrest any person contravening the Tobacco Act of 2010 that forbids selling of single sticks of cigarettes.
Tuhakikishe sheria inazingatiwa. Watu wanauza paketi sio sigara moja vile inavyofanywa kwa sasa, kwa sababu ni kinyume. Sigara zinastahili kuuzwa kwa paketi, sio sigara moja. Na pia watoto wasiuziwe sigara hata kama ametumwa na mzazi. Huyo mzazi ni jangili ambaye anastahili kushikwa na kuadhibiwa, na yule anayeuza asimuuzie mtoto. Serikali itoe adhabu kali kwa wale wanaovunja sheria, kwa sababu kuna sheria inayodhibiti tumbako katika nchi, the Tobacco Control Act. Vile tunavyoambiwa na wataalamu ya kwamba mtu anayevuta ana hatari zaidi ya kuangamizwa na korona kuliko yule ambaye havuti. Kwa hivyo ningependa ya kwamba kila mmoja wetu amtahadharisha mwenzake ya kwamba uvutaji wa sigara na hata matumizi ya pombe na vitu kama hivyo ni mambo ambayo yanatuletea maafa na tuachane nayo, na haswa siku hii ya kuadhimisha kukataa tumbako katika dunia iwe ni siku ambayo inatukumbusha ya kwamba kuna korona katika nchi yetu ambayo itasaidiwa na tumbako kutuangamiza kwa haraka zaidi, na kwa hivyo tujihadhari, kwa sababu kuna uongo ambao unaenezwa na wengine ya kwamba wale wanaotumia tumbako, wale wanaokunywa pombe hawatakabiliwa na madhara ya korona. Ni jambo ambalo lazima tuliangalie na serikali pia ipate kulishughulikia kwa dhati, ili wanaoeneza uongo wa aina hiyo hata wachukuliwe hatua za kisheria, waadhibiwe.
Elsewhere, Taekwondo champion Vincent Ochieng usually trains in school sports halls in Kisumu City. Instead, he's working out with hundreds of others on the gritty surface of his city's biggest highway flyover. Sports training facilities were closed in March as a result of measures to contain the spread of the coronavirus, leaving athletes like Ochieng, who was looking forward to representing Kenya at the World Taekwondo Championship in China in October, with nowhere to train. Lydia Gashomo with the details.
It is one of the busiest motorway flyovers which cuts through Kisumu near Lake Victoria. All gyms and all other sports training facilities were closed in March as part of measures to contain the spread of the coronavirus. This left Evelyn Akinyi and others with little choice but to find somewhere to train. The 27-year-old welterweight started boxing 5 years ago. It took sheer grit and determination to win a place in the national boxing team. Evelyn is convinced that staying physically fit will help her and others fight off the virus.
Wazidi tu kutrain, wasiogope ati corona juu ukitrain vizuri ugonjwa mingi hezi kushika.
Vincent Ochieng trains here with his daughter Stacy. He expected to be competing for Kenya at the Taekwondo World Cup in China later this year. Instead, he is working out on the gritty, polluted flyover.
This year, we were planning, and that's why I'm training here. That's why I'm here today. We are planning to represent our country in October. That's in China World Cup, Taekwondo World Cup. But unfortunately, this COVID-19, we don't know itaisha lini. We are just praying and hoping itaisha before that time.
Not everyone in Kisumu is happy with their presence outdoors though, especially as many of the participants are not wearing masks. The government has also asked people to avoid gathering in groups. That is not the case with this group.
They will give us this disease, they will still spread it more. If an individual, if one of them maybe has been affected, coming to train here with, I don't know, 5 or 10, it is nonsense. I don't see the meaning of that training in this area. If I know I've been told that I stay at home, let me stay at home.
But Vincent says it is impossible to train at his home. He has lost his work in schools as a Taekwondo teacher. He knows that without maintaining a training program, he has little chance of winning more medals.
This is what I do best. It's my life. I survive through Taekwondo. I'm a teacher. I teach Taekwondo in schools and in halls. And when the schools were closed, the halls were closed, everything changed. Our life became hard. We can't survive. There is no way we can survive. There is no way you can train your kids. There's nowhere you can train your client. So we'll ask government to come up and support sportsmen and women, because this is what we do.
These early morning training sessions continue to attract hundreds of residents of Kisumu, including basketball players, footballers, and even dancers. They say they have no choice but to come here. There is nowhere else to train. Lydia Gashomo, TV47.
From the Lake City of Kisumu, that's all the time we had for you. Thanks for watching News Deck. I'm Abubakar Abdullahi. Bye for now, but enjoy the rest of our programs.